Looking at the Milestones review, number 11, it says a rectangle is 12 meters longer than it is wide. Its perimeter is 68 meters. Find the length, find the width. Okay. So you have to draw a rectangle. And one side is the length, one side is the width. So I'm going to make the short side here the width. The X is going to be my width. And then the length is 12 meters longer than it is wide. So I'm going to do X plus 12 for the length. Okay, so the width is X. The length is X plus 12. It's got 4 sides. Perimeter is those 4 sides added together. So you know that X plus X, the width, plus the 2 lengths, which would be X plus 12 and X plus 12, all those added together give you 68. All right, so X plus X plus X plus X, you've got 4 of those, so that's 4X. 12 plus 12 is 24. You know the total perimeter is 68. Solve for X here. You're going to subtract 24 on both sides. And you end up getting 4X equals 44. Then you divide both sides by 4. You get X equals 11. Well, that only tells you your width. You've got to plug in 11 here to find your length. So my width is 11. And then what is 11 plus 12? 23. The width is 11, the length is 23. Number 12, the cost in dollars of a single-story home can be approximated using the formula C equals KLW, where L is the approximate length of the home and W is the approximate width of the home. Find the units for the coefficient K. Well, it's saying K, the cost in dollars, is represented by that formula, so your unit would just be dollars. So K equals dollars. That's a K. Two cars start at the same point and travel in opposite directions. The first car travels 15 miles per hour faster than the second car. In 4 hours, the cars are 300 miles apart. Use the formula below to determine the rate of the second car. Okay, so all you have to do here is solve for R. What's the first step to solve for R? We've got to get rid of these parentheses. How do you do that? Distribute. So 4 times R is what? What's 4 times 15? 60. So 4R plus 60, and then you've got plus 4R equals 300. What is 4R plus 4R? Combine like terms. 8R. Plus 60 equals 300. Now how do I've got 2 more steps to solve. What do I have to do? Subtract 60 on both sides. So I have 8R equals, what's 300 minus 60? Okay, so 1, I divide by 8, and what's 240 divided by 8? 30, thank you. So what is the rate R of the second car? It would be 30 miles per hour. Number 14, solve the equation. 14 equals AX plus 6. solve that for x, and show and justify your steps. When it says justify your steps, you have to list the properties. Okay, so how would you solve for this? All right, well, I'm going to write it down. That's given, right? 14 equals ax plus 6, that's given. Then you would subtract 6. When I subtracted 6, what property is that? It's just called subtraction property of equality, and you can shorten it and just say subtraction property. When you subtract 6, 14 minus 6 is what?
14 minus 6.
After we subtracted 6, that is called the subtraction property. We then divided everything by a because we're solving for x. When you divide, that's called the division property or the division property of equality. So we get x equals 8 divided by a. All right, so look at number 15. It says, look at the steps when solving 3 times x minus 2 equals 3 for x. All right, so we had write the original equation, use the distributive property. So, okay, do you see up here, I'm going to highlight this because it says when solving. When you're solving it, like you're trying to get x by itself, right? So when you start solving, that's going to be step 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So this is given, and then you use the distributive property. Step 1 is to add 6 to both sides. When you did that, what happened in step 2? How did you go from here to here? What did you do there? You combined like terms. So what step was that? Step 2. So your answer would be B, step 2. That's where you're combining like terms. All right, so look at number 16. It says the formula for the area of a circle is A equals pi r squared. Which equation shows the formula in terms of r? That means which one has you solving for r? Well, they all have r's here. They're all solved for r. Okay, that doesn't help. But sometimes it might eliminate an answer or two. So what you can do is write the original equation down. A equals pi r squared. Write that down. Now, how do you get r all by itself? So r is there. How do we get that by itself? We've got to take away, we've got to get rid of the pi, and we've got to get rid of the squared. Okay, so it's pi times r squared. That's multiplying. What is the opposite of multiplying? Dividing. So what can you divide by here? Nope. You're going to divide by pi. When you divide by pi, those cancel. Okay, so you're left with a divided by pi equals r squared. So do you,
What's the schedule going to be like next week?
All right.
What?
Okay, so 16, where were we? Okay, so yes, the reason I'm taking the square root here, that gets rid of the squared sign. If you recall, if you had something like x squared equals 36, you take the square root of both sides, you get x equals plus or minus 6. To get rid of that squared, that little 2, you have to take the square root. So we take the square root of both sides here, and we get the square root of a over pi, all of it, underneath the radical equals r. So the correct answer would be C. All right, so look at number 17. It says the product of two consecutive positive integers is 132. Anytime you see consecutive, you need to think about x, x plus 1, x plus 2, x plus 3. So it says the product of two consecutive positive integers. So if we had x times x plus 1, that would equal 132. X times x plus 1 equals 132. That would be your equation. Okay, so how do you solve this? Well, you've got to multiply, and you end up getting x squared. You end up getting x squared plus x equals 132. All right, so how do you solve that? How do you solve that?
You have to
Starts with an F.
factor.
You got to factor. Okay?
Sure. Like, let me be on Easter. Hey, Jack.
No. Fine. Okay, look at number 17. You've got to factor these. You figure out that negative 11 times 12 gives you negative 132 when you multiply those. When you add them together, you get 1. That's what we want. So when you solve those, you get x equals 11, x equals negative 12. But the question said it had to be positive integers. So it has to be positive. Didn't mean to mark that out. Whoops. Meant to highlight it. Positive integers. So the positive integers would be 11 and 12. All right, look at number 18. It says the function f of x equals x plus 9 is shifted 2 units up and 3 units to the left. Select the new function. All right, so if those are your transformations, 2 units up. So it already says x minus 9. What is 9 plus 2? What is 9 plus 2? So negative 9 plus 2. Negative 9 plus 2 is 7. Negative 7. So it's either C or D. You can eliminate B. You can eliminate A. All right, and then it says 3 units to the left. Well, to the left is going to be a positive, and it's going to be with the x. Which one has a positive 3 with the x? In parentheses. C or D? D. So your answer is D. All right, look at number 19. The graph of the odd function f of x equals 2x is shown below. Fill in the table. All right, so it says f of negative 1. This just means where is y? Where is y negative 1? Nope. Excuse me. Where is x negative 1? X is negative 1 and y is negative 2. All right. When x is -4, y is -8. There's also another way to do this. So when x is -8, that goes off the graph, right? So this is your original equation. Do you notice the pattern here? When x is -1, when you plug in an x -1, what's 2 times -1? -2. What's 2 times -4? -8. You're multiplying by 2 because that's what the function tells you to do. What's 2 times -8? So your answer there is -16. What's -25 times 2? There you go. Same thing here. What's 1 times 2? What's 4 times 2? What's 8 times 2? And then what's 25 times 2? Yep. So that goes in the box. Not that small. Come on, smartboard. It's not me. There we go. Okay, last 4 questions. It says if the parent function, Gavin, please stop moving the desk and making noise. If the parent function is f of x equals mx plus b, what is the value of the parameter for m passing through the line, passing through the points -2, 7, 4, and 3, multiple choice? Okay, so what you have to do here is your slope formula. All right, number 20, if the parent function is mx plus b, what is the value of the parameter of the line passing through the points -2, 7, and 4, and 3? So you're going to have to use the slope formula to solve this. So the slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. What I like to do, I'm recording, go ahead and label x1, y1, x2, y2. So then you just plug those numbers in. So y2 is 3, so it's going to be 3 minus 7 over 4 minus -2. 3 minus 7 is -4. 4 minus -2 is positive 6. Reduce that, you get -2/3, which is D. Number 21, it says the sum means you're adding. The sum of 38 and twice a number is 124. Find the number. So the sum of 38 plus twice a number, 2x, equals 124. Subtract 38 on both sides, you get 2x equals 86 because 124 minus 38 is 86. Then you divide both sides by 2, and you get x equals 43. All right, so number 22, it says, this is a long problem. Alex has twice as much money as Jennifer. So A equals 2 times J. Jennifer has 6 less than Shannon. So J equals 6 less than Shannon, and Shannon is going to be represented by the letter H. Together they have $54. So if you had Alex plus Jennifer plus Shannon, all those added together equals 54. How much money does each person have? Well, Jennifer is H minus 6. Okay? Alex is 2 times what Jennifer has. So if Alex is 2 times what Jennifer has H minus 6. That's going to be 2 times H minus 6 plus J is H minus 6 plus H equals 54. Combine like terms. Well, you got to distribute first, so that's 2H minus 12 And then you have 2h plus h, which is 4h. Negative 12, negative 6 is negative 18. You add 18 to both sides, you get 4h equals 72. Divide by 4, you get h equals 18. Knowing that h, which is Shannon, equals $18, Jennifer has $18 minus 6. Well, 18 minus 6 is 12. So Jennifer has $12. Okay? Well, if Jennifer has $12, Alex has twice as much money as Jennifer. So 12 times 2 is 24. So Shannon has $18, Jennifer has $12, Alex has $24. Number 23. You've got those expressions. You have to multiply them, then add them together. X times x plus 1, x times 3x plus 1 is 3x squared plus x. Two x times x plus 3, well, 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times 3 is 6x. Combine those, add them together. 3x squared plus x plus 2x squared plus 6x. Well, 3x squared plus 2x squared is 5x squared. X plus 6x is 7x, which is D.